Hello, everybody. This is Alvaro Cortez, aka Lance Danger, and this is day 24 of 100 Days of Making Comics. I was able to get, at the very least, the screen recording software to work, so I was doing this inking while listening to the whole 100 Days of Making Comics playlist of Mike Emmerich's. I'm binge watching I was binge watching while I inked. It's a very cool series of videos so far. I had watched a handful, but now I'm watching more as I work, so I'd be able to catch up with his 100 Days of Making Comics playlist, and I'm going to be checking out and binging out some more on other creators' playlists as the week goes on, and I keep on doing these speed inking or speed coloring videos, which has been very fun to watch and to listen to these videos. It's also very inspiring to hear the stories behind the motivations of either the creations that they're making or just the love that they have for this medium, and it really is inspiring and it helps push me forward. And as I mentioned in the previous video, it kind of makes you feel a little less lonely during this journey that is the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. Like, I think this has probably been the most consistent I've been doing something of my own creation for a couple of years now, even if it is like half an hour a day. And as you all know by now, like so many of like the technical difficulties that has been happening, but I've been kind of dealing with the hurdles and just making it work and not giving up and keeping my head up high and all those cliches. And it's been very fun. It's been a very educational experience as well to be doing all this, especially having to make something out of nothing whenever the technology aspect of all this fails. So it's really shown me that I'm still not a type of person that will quit. Like, I think the only way I'll ever stop doing comics or drawing is pretty much when I'm found dead or something, like humped over the drawing table or on top of the keyboard or something. Like, they'll probably have to bury me or cremate me or send me off into space, whatever, with all my drawing materials as well, if that's within the expenses of doing that. If not, just throw me in a box and that'll be fine either way. Anyway, this suddenly got very dark. About this page, this is the new title page that I'm doing for the prologue of my comic Fred Peterson, The Mighty Warlord. I like to borrow from the Japanese manga a lot, and I really like all the whole like introduction page and title page for the different chapters within the manga, or in the manga collections, or in the actual manga magazines that has released every chapter individually and whatnot. I've always found that amusing to have a title. A lot of that art is just so great to look at. So I kind of want to infuse some of that into my comic as well. Like, my comic has a large mix of styles. I don't like to stay in one particular brand, one particular style. I'm always experimenting, which is why I guess there's such an eclectic group of people that read The Mighty Warlord, because story-wise as well, repercussions of and consequences of actions and even inactions. Like, there's as much consequences to somebody not doing one thing in particular as there is consequences for your actions. And that's sometimes what I want to portray there as well. Like, sometimes it is a little bit slow, the pacing of the story. And that's one thing I want to correct as I do this remake of the first 11 chapters of the book, to kind of maybe quicken the pace a little bit in some areas where it probably dragged on a little unnecessarily. But sometimes also in the story, it's important to just leave the story breathe a little bit. Like, if you throw too much information at the reader, at the audience, like, it's going to be overwhelming. So sometimes it's good to just let the story breathe a little bit, which is what I absolutely love about animes and mangas, that they just show like establishing shots of a city, a countryside. Or one great example of this is Spirited Away, the beautiful Studio Ghibli animated film where Chihiro was in the train with No Face and of course the gerbil and the fly, and they're riding in the train, and it's nothing but silence really. It's just a lot of scenery, a lot of like, even like the background music is so chill and minimal that it's really a very impactful scene for as simple as it is compared to the more action or comedic or dramatic scenes. It just allows things to kind of breathe and give the audience like a bit of a breather, and that's what I like to do from time to time in my comic, just kind of let people breathe, because when I do action, I sometimes go a little over the top with the action, and when I do the drama, sometimes it can be very heavy drama, or it can sometimes become very emotional as well. So I kind of like to do these title pages because in a way they also kind of serve as a breather to me as well, to do something like this. It just kind of allows you to be fun, sometimes silly, and sometimes it doesn't even have to do with the story itself. It's just, again, like something a little fun to do. Like, as a creator, it's just a little breather from the regular story, and for the reader, it's just another piece of artwork that may be appealing to them. So that's pretty much what I did today. I hope you enjoyed this speed video. I hope the narration came out well. The audio didn't come out too well in the previous video for some reason, but anyway, thank you. Another day, another flawless victory, and catch you all tomorrow.